Test, test, test. Can everyone hear me? Had some audio issues starting off kind of rough. Not going to lie, twin. Tonight we are streaming on YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok. If you could please, there's no audio. There is audio. I'm literally watching my audio. My mic's good to go. You know what? We're going to double check because you said there's no audio. You know what? We're good on audio. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? You tried to trick me. Still can't hear you. You can hear me. And if you can't hear me, that's on you. Because check this out. I've got this cool little thing where I click right here. Listen to this. Click right here. Listen to that. You hear that? Listen to this. Click right here. Listen to that. You hear that? Hear that? Click right here. Listen to that. You hear that? That's my audio. I do look stressed. It's been a long day. It has been an interesting day. Snowox, I still haven't filled you in on everything that's going on with work. Dude, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. What I do want to do is get into stream discussion because it's been a while. Here you find they're lying. Oh, no, I know because I'm able to check my audio. Now, that hasn't always been the case. That has not always been the case because back in the day, let's see, off stream. I know off stream. Back in the day, I streamed for 20 minutes with no audio. And I was talking the entire time. I was telling cop stories. I was talking to people, or at least I thought I was talking to people, and there was no audio. Now I have this insane, honestly, if I would have gone from the stream that I had to what I have now back then, I wouldn't know how to handle it. And I did take a picture of the setup today because I got a lot going on. I've got 2 cameras set up because I'm going to start shooting for YouTube a little bit more. I have a monitor here, Stream Deck, mics. I've got the whole thing set up, and I do have some other stuff that I can't show you on YouTube. I do have some other stuff on this desk that I cannot show you on YouTube, but that's okay because I'm not going to be showing you those things. You guys know I am doing the giveaway. I got everything packaged up right here in this beautiful Echelon box. I'm doing the giveaway. Right now, submissions are done for the giveaway. Submissions are done because we're within, it's the 2nd. You've got 3 more days until this bad Larry ships out to one of you lucky followers, subscribers, also chatters. You have to follow, subscribe, and also chat. Now, for those of you watching, if you're consuming this content on YouTube or Kick or anywhere else that I'm not every day, you need to know that I do have other giveaways coming up. This is not the last one. You got addresses? Not yet. Not yet, but I have a system in place. And I will have addresses. All right, let's take a second. Let's do a quick roll call, and then we will get into stream discussion. So let's see. We got Roto Rick, B. B was here first. B was here first. You need to know that B was the first comment. And I don't think he called me, I don't think he said I was late. Let's see, who else is here? Snowox, Mrs. Farmer Joe. Shout out to Mrs. Farmer Joe. Shout out to Mrs. Farmer Joe. This is not the right music. Oh gosh, okay. It's not the right music. I apologize. I messed with the Stream Deck today. Don't judge me. But Mrs. Farmer Joe is here. Ninja's here, of course. Ninja. I demand watermelon crawl. Well, okay. I'll see what I can do. Max is here. Shout out to Max. Always in the chat. I am surprised that B was first. I don't know what time it is. I'm in a different world, man. I believe it. You're in a different world. You're in a different nation. Let's look up this watermelon crawl. We have to now. We can't not. Watermelon crawl. Oh, it's a line dance. I'm gonna get a copyright strike for this. I already know it.
I was driving through Georgia in late July on a day hot enough to make the devil sigh.
All right, I gave you that's 15 seconds that we should be good on the copyright stuff, but I actually kind of like that. Oh, Mongo's here. What's up, Mongo? How are you having a great night? Wait, how are you? You can go ahead and put illiterate in the chat. Says, how you are having a great... Hope you are okay. Hope you're having. Got it. I refuse to believe that King, in his current ethnic makeup, doesn't know everything there is about watermelons. Wow. Wow. Farmer Joe. Farmer Joe. All right, give me a second. Let me set up the green screen, and we will be right back. All right, I had to make sure that I was on the right screen because I have something bookmarked that popped up immediately. Literally the second that I got on X this evening, it came up. Let's see. Illiterate. How do you spell illiterate wrong? We got 4 types of watermelon growing in the garden this year. Listen, contrary to popular belief, I am allergic to watermelon. I do like it. I do like it. And I do like a good solid slice of watermelon on a hot day, but I am allergic. I am allergic. All right, let's dive into, let's go to this. Let's go to X first because that's, that's a good place to start. And I got a lot of catching up to do. I have a lot of catching up to do. Your girls don't like it either. I like it. I like it. If they don't like it, it is what it is. But we definitely juice it a lot. Or we did last year when you gave us 148 watermelon. 148 watermelon. Listen, why would you assume that I like watermelon? What about me? Don't answer this, Farmer Joe. What about me says that I like watermelon? For you to look at me and automatically assume, one, I know the Watermelon Crawl line dance by Tracy Bird. But why would you assume that Farmer Joe, we know. We get it. All right, let's dive in because I saw this and this absolutely... I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know how I feel about this. Oh, of course. I gotta reset the Vider soundbite because I need that music back in here.
Our great republic was founded on a simple yet bold idea. Our rights as citizens are not granted to us by government, but instead by God. 250 years ago, the Revolutionary War was fought to secure our God-given rights. The Second Amendment to our Constitution enshrines the right of all citizens to carry weapons to protect themselves, their families, and their fellow countrymen. The War Department's uniformed service members are trained at the highest and unwavering standards. These warfighters, entrusted with the safety of our nation, are no less entitled to exercise their God-given right to keep and bear arms than any other American. Our warfighters defend the right of others to carry. They should be able to carry themselves. Recent events like what happened at Fort Stewart, Holloman Air Force Base, or Pensacola Naval Air Station have made clear that some threats are closer to home than we would like. In these instances, minutes are a lifetime, and our service members have the courage and training to make those precious short minutes count. Before today, it was virtually impossible. Most people probably don't know this. It was virtually impossible for War Department personnel to get permission to carry and store their own personal weapons aligned with the state laws where we operate our installations. I mean, effectively, our bases across the country were gun-free zones. Unless you're training or unless you are a military policeman, you couldn't carry, you couldn't bring your own firearm for your own personal protection onto post. Well, that's no longer. The memo I'm signing today directs installation commanders to allow requests for personal protection to carry a privately owned firearm with the presumption that it is necessary for personal protection. If a request is for some reason denied...
I'm going to read Farmer Joe's comment because that is hilarious. Thanks, Pete. I can now do what I have been doing for over 20 years, but with paperwork. I am not doing the paperwork. So, B, you've got a good point. Are you allowed to state your opinion on the Secretary of the Department of War? I generally do not. I generally do not. However, I have been in the Army. I've been in the Army for a while now. And I will tell you, there are people that I 100% do not trust with a loaded firearm. And this is range days, training, going to the field. There are people that I do not trust with a loaded firearm. Just straight up G. I will say this, being a member of the Army National Guard and being in the position that I'm in, Well, never mind. We're not going into that. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think. I'm gonna leave that one alone. I just decided I would save that one, and it is what it is. All right, on to the next one. I love a good Al Gore recall video from some of the stuff he said in my lifetime and in your lifetime. But this says, Al Gore just said, none of the predictions from the past 20 years have been wrong from climate scientists. This inspired me to go back and watch the classic An Inconvenient Truth. I don't know what that is. I guess that's a documentary. Upon rewatch, it was worse than I remember. I think Heggie operates on vibes alone. Listen, there's no doubt Peter can be a chill dude. There's no doubt in my mind that he can be a chill dude sometimes. But then cracking down on shaving and cracking down on, well, never mind, whatever. Remember 2 depths missed loaded firearms and dude. I'm gonna save that story. I'm gonna save that story for Jocko. Valk is ignoring you. No, she's lurking. Thank you for being here, Valk. I appreciate you lurking. Dude, I get, they're not super bad, but they're pretty bad, to the point where my youngest would be like, Daddy, why do you have all those red bumps on your face? And I'm like, shut up. I had to shave. Full size too. Yeah. Valka G, she on her own stream. She is. Yeah, so I had two instances where semi-experienced deputies turned a subject over to me that they had searched. These people were in custody. One was from a robbery and a shooting. The other was from a stolen vehicle pursuit. They had turned these people over to me, and each of these people had guns on them. I'm not going to show you the guns or the style of guns because I do have a selection here, small selection here. You can use your imagination. Both subjects in custody in either an EMS vehicle or a police vehicle, both had guns, one of which was stolen. One was stolen, the other one was just used in the commission of a robbery. And where are these two deputies, these upstanding deputies that put my life on the line as well as everybody else on scene, including people standing by, EMTs, and everybody within earshot? Where are these deputies now? Well, they're both supervisors. They're both supervisors. It is what it is. Black Donut, what's going on, brother? Good to have you here. Good to have you here. Yes, Cody does call me Black Donut, and I call him White King, which kind of sounds ridiculous, but you've got to understand the context of the conversation. A part of me, let's see, hope you use cuss words on them. I might have said one or two things that I don't normally say. I might have said one or two things that I wouldn't normally say. But you've also got to remember, I'm human. He a White King, though. Yeah, that's what I said. I said White King. There was a pretty funny text exchange when we were talking the other day, and I know that it can't see the light of day. I know that a lot of the stuff, a lot of the group chat, a lot of the text exchanges that I have and people that I talk to, some of these chats, and you can imagine, you can use your imagination. Don't worry, you're a Black King too. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right, before I get sidetracked yet again, we're going to watch, I just realized this woman's name. Her name is Lucy Biggers. Got to be careful with group chats. Boy, do I know. Listen, let me tell you something about group chats. I have seen the rise and fall of the most capable and competent people. The rise and fall, and the fall generally hinged on a group chat. I've seen it. I've seen good people come and go, mostly going, to even include myself. A fall from grace based on a group chat. Verify who's there. Verify who you're talking to. And if someone has the same last name as someone else, be careful. My group chats are full of Lucy who. Her name is Lucy Biggers. Bravo, India, Golf, Echo, Romeo, Sierra. All right, we're going to see what she has to say finally after prefacing this video for the last 17 minutes.
They measured this amount of melting in Greenland. 10 years later, this is what happened. And here's the melting from 2005. Tony Blair's scientific advisor has said that because of what's happening in Greenland right now, the maps of the world will have to be redrawn. If Greenland broke up and melted, or if half of Greenland and half of West Antarctica broke up and melted, this is what would happen to the sea level in Florida.
Oh no, Florida's going to disappear.
This is what would happen to San Francisco Bay.
Oh no, San Francisco's going to disappear.
A lot of people live in these areas. The Netherlands, one of
Oh
the
no,
low
the Netherlands
countries.
is going to disappear.
Absolutely devastating. The area around Beijing that's home to tens of millions of people.
Oh no, Beijing is going to
Even
disappear.
worse, in the area around Shanghai, there are 40 million people. Worse still, Calcutta and to the east, Bangladesh, the area covered includes 60
Oh, no.
million people. Think of the impact of a couple 100,000 refugees when they're displaced by an environmental event. And then imagine the impact of 100 million or more.
Okay, I cannot believe my high school teacher showed that to our entire high school as a presentation. That is...
So for me and Snow Ox, listen, Tim the Toggle Boy, you settle down. You settle. It was hard R, but it was her name. Her name is Bravo India Golf Echo Romeo Sierra. Okay, California's gonna disappear. Al Gore, the guy that created the internet. When I was in high school, global warming was not a thing. I don't know if it was where you were, but it definitely wasn't a thing. And even where I live now, like I'm near, obviously I'm on the East Coast. Never been concerned about it. Well, I hear my name. Get your name out it's getting my name out your mouth. Gosh, you can't even joke right, dude. Come on.
Malpractice. I mean, this is such an awful clip. And the reason I brought it up is because there was a recent viral clip of Al Gore where he said that none of the predictions from the past 20 years have been wrong from climate scientists.
In the view of the vast majority of the climate scientists who I trust,
think
and
he's
whose
just
judgment
lost
has
his
been
mind.
correct, by the way. You go back 20 years and listen to what they were warning us about then. The fact that they were proven...
All right, that's enough of that. We know Al Gore has lost his mind. We did see this. 75% of the murders committed in Fairfax County, Virginia this year have been at the hands of illegal aliens. It's almost like someone told them that would be the case. Let me go to my profile because I did share something in reference to that. Here it is. 3 recent killers in Fairfax County are all illegal immigrants. February 23rd, Abdul Jallo stabbed Stephanie Minter at a bus stop after having stabbed folks before. March 27th, Misael Lopez Gomez beats his own 3-month-old baby to death. Good Lord. March 29th, Annabelle Chavarria Mui hacks a man to death with a machete. That's... Virginia, what are we doing? Let's see what else. Oh, also, I showed you guys this yesterday. Ron's photo of eating a hot dog got marked as adult content or got an adult content warning. Now we come to the good stuff. Al Gore is the inconvenient truth. Enough said. What is... All right. You put it in here, Snow Ox. You did this. This alleged prostitute is going viral after she was spotted working on the clock while being pregnant with an ankle monitor. Oh my gosh. A pregnant prostitute on probation. That's 3 strikes, you're out. Pregnant prostitute on probation, get out of here. She's got to hustle. What? Listen, that ain't no hustle. That ain't no hustle. I'm going to mute this because I don't want it to play any music that's going to get it. That is insane. That is insane. Pregnant prostitute on probation. Or parole. Let's see. Sounds about right. So does she charge more? Listen, I'm just glad that nobody in the chat said that they can fix her. I'm just glad that nobody... no risk... Oh my gosh. Mrs. Farmer Joe, come on. Okay. On to the next. Oh, we already did this one. Thank you very much. Our timelines our feeds are the same. Nobody wants to fix her. Tell me I'm wrong. Potato chip can fix her. Speaking of potato chip, we haven't played any Fallout in a long time. The reason Democrats started now what is the longest shutdown in DHS history is because they were demanding dramatic reforms to the way ICE operates. They now get zero of those reforms after negotiations fell apart in the Senate. None. Dems are claiming victory because Republicans are now agreeing to a DHS funding bill with $0 for ICE and CBP, Customs and Border Patrol. Oh my gosh, Mrs. Farmer Joe. Snow, read her comment. Read her comment. Listen, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about my prodigal sub. My prodigal sub. You're not wrong, but he's someone who left because he was angry. He left because he was angry, which, no fault, but he has not returned, nor shown his face since then. It's been over a year. He was one of my first faithful followers, and now he's gone. Why was he angry? I think I put him. He still follows me on IG. I think I put him in timeout. He was really good at I don't want to say good, but he cracked a lot of jokes, and I also cracked a lot of jokes. But I think that the conversation was that this is my stream, and I was like, oh, fine, and I put him in timeout for like 10 minutes or something like that. And then I think I don't know if he got timeout in Discord or if he got banned at some point on Discord, but he kind of left. He got mad. And it's okay. It's cool. All right, I'm not going to read this whole thing because I like videos, not posts that I have to read. He dared me to delete a comment. It is what it is. He's the ban evader. Not quite. I don't think he is. He might be. How bad is the fraud in California? Shout out to Nick. Shout out to Nick, the guy that I met at the airport, the young man that I met at the airport. Their Medi-Cal, Medicaid program budget has more than doubled by $114 billion, while enrollment has only gone up 0.72% over 4 years. Good Lord, California. Prime example of fraud, waste, and abuse of taxpayer dollars. Who's going to be held accountable? Is anybody going to be held accountable? Probably not. They haven't been, and I don't foresee them getting to a point where there's accountability. All right, we got a little palate cleanser. I love a good dog video. I love a good puppy video. That was fantastic. Oh, here we got some Dean Withers. This young man is cooked. Like, I get it. Like, he's passionate about how he feels about things, but the dude, let's see, Donut would say that's real. That was real. What are you talking about? That was real. That was real. They're admitting to aliens so they didn't have to arrest Jeff's clients. Jeez. Oh, wait. Okay. Got it. Got it. I'm illiterate.
Democrats are more patriotic than Republicans.
Say that one more time, please, sir.
Democrats are more patriotic than Republicans.
Cap. I mean, maybe so. I don't know. But personally, no. Because a majority of the Democrats that we see right here on this stream are the people professing to be liberal and Democrat. What do they say? We hate this country. I need to find a way to leave. That's not patriotism. That's not patriotism. Whereas, what do they say on the other side of the aisle? I got my guns and I can call you whatever I want. I can call you whatever I want. Free speech. That's how they sound.
Oh, nice to meet you. Okay, so really bold, clear statement that Democrats are very patriotic. Let's talk about the actions of the Democrats being very glorious in loving our country.
Well, I would like to clarify.
Yeah,
My
clarify,
claim is
please.
not that Democrats are very patriotic. It is that they are more patriotic than Republicans, but I apologize for interrupting you.
Okay, no, but I would like clarity on what are those actions, because in my understanding of Democrats being really patriotic is destroying the nuclear family, burning down flags.
So I wouldn't lead with a statement. I would ask him, I would say, can you please expound upon the statement that you made? Because personally, based off of what he said, I fundamentally disagree. However, I would like you to elaborate so I can disagree further. But Tell me what do you mean by that? When you say Democrats are more patriotic than Republicans, are we talking about the people that are offended and scared of the American flag? The people that don't want to stand up and do the pledge? The people that don't want their children doing the pledge? The people that say living here is a threat to their existence? Are those the ones that are more patriotic? Because I need you to elaborate and tell me more about this, because we honestly we don't agree. We don't agree one bit. Let's see. Should we go back and watch the blue-haired TISM speaker? No, we're not doing that. No. I got all fired up about that. I mean, it's one thing if you wanna present that lifestyle, but then to force a child in it, no, we're not doing that.
Burning down buildings. I mean, we see just destruction in our cities. Did you see the trash and all the homelessness going out in LA? What is patriotic about supporting all of that? What is patriotic about supporting all the drugs that are coming in, all the things that we're allowing, the human trafficking, allowing all these things and policies going on? What is patriotic about that? What screams "I love America" of people?
You said that Democrats support, right?
No, I'm just asking, what are the patriotic acts that show? Because what patriotism means to me is kneeling for those who have sacrificed for our country.
Not vilifying the military.
30 years in the military, right? That is 30 years that he is not getting back, that he has fought for his country, laid down his life for. What is patriotic that the Democrats are doing, that are saying, hey, I'm going to lay my life down and not be egotistic and individualistic, and I'm going to serve and look out for others, look out for the next generation? What is it? So that's what I'm asking. To make that statement clear, what does that look like at the Democratic Party?
I actually think that's a great question. And the answer to your question would be a fight to protect and preserve the state of our democracy. I think that
they always do that.
A whole cohort of claims.
They always do that. Oh, we need to protect democracy. You mean like protecting the integrity of our elections by not letting people from other nations just show up here and vote over and over and over again? I mean, we've seen it. Let's see. B-Rad says, audio sounds way better today. Let's go. Thank you so much. Thank you. See, I love how the government keeps throwing stuff at people to try to distract, and we're just like, but the list though. Hey, where that list at? Where that list at? Paula White says Trump has laid down his life just like Jesus. That's insane. I have seen people say, and they said this, I don't know if you remember, Mrs. Farmer Joe. You're a little younger than me. You're a little bit younger than me. So you might not remember this. But go watch it. It's in my stories on IG. When George W. Bush was elected, and they said he was sent by God. I'm sorry. He was sent by God. Let's see. Did I miss the space travel discussion? We haven't discussed it. I just left it in the title. It was there from last night. I'm 3 months older than you. Listen, you said that. I did not say that. I was trying to not bring your age into this. I was trying to be respectful because you're someone who I respect. I respect you, your husband, your family, your home, your dog, your four-wheeler. You know what? Let me stop there. All right. I'm sorry. Yeah, the space travel conversation didn't happen. I just left that in the title. My birthday is in 1 week. I'll be 40. Listen, you put that in there, but for you, we will say happy birthday. I'm going to get... I didn't mention my windows. Hush. Okay, please, respectfully. I'm going to have my youngest one make you a birthday card. And if y'all are doing anything at the house for your birthday, we will be there, depending on what day it is. Scrumptious is here. Happy birthday. I didn't even shoot the window. That wasn't me. That was someone else. All right, I'm sorry. We're getting sidetracked. You sidetracked me with space travel. Now we're talking birthdays. This is how it works here.
By Democrats that have been anti-patriotic, such as burning the flag, such as burning down buildings in the riots. And I agree with you, right? I think that those are clear displays of anti-patriotic behaviors. Do I necessarily disagree with them all the time? No, I don't think that it's wrong to burn the American flag if it's in protest of actions of the American government. But my claim here is that there's nothing less patriotic than supporting Donald Trump, a man that has already tried to destroy our country internally.
All roads lead back to Trump. I did not shoot the window. All roads lead back to Trump. That's all it is. Just a bunch of Trump hatred. Oh, here we go. We got a cop video. Listen, I try I try very hard not to be in the shadow of my good friend Cody. You can put name drop in the chat. Even to the point where thinking of videos to shoot and post on YouTube, I really try to get out of that shadow and say, you know what? If something is already being done and it's being done well, do I want to do that thing, or do I want to find something else to do? And ultimately, somehow cop stories and cop videos just, they find me. We didn't go to the moon, and we aren't going now. King hit my house with a four-wheeler and shot out my window. Oh my. I did not shoot the window. Someone shot the chain. I might have shot the chain. And while the target was spinning, one of the circles was spinning, someone who shall remain nameless, because I ain't no snitch, someone shot a spinning target, and it must have had the right angle, because there's only one way that could have happened. And I think I watched it happen. All right, we got a cop video. Let's stop talking. Enough about me. Oh my gosh. I know where this is going. I didn't read that. I'm sorry. I know most of you might have read that. I didn't read that. The way... So you can't share pics. You can share pics. The window was definitely shot, but it was not me. The way she is handling this firearm, this is insane. What is that? That's like a Glock 36. That's one of those little small 45s. My profile image for King is a bullet. Listen, chat, don't listen to them. Don't listen to them. There's a great percentage. There's a high percentage chance that they are wrong. Let's see. This female is a supervisor. I trust them over you. Of course you do. Why is... Oh my gosh, dude.
I appreciate it. Oh, yeah.
Oh, no! No, 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 no. No, no. Oh my gosh, no. No. Don't clip that. Do not clip that. White King did this video already. See? There you go. Someone's already done. It's already been done. Now here I am copying someone else. I'm seeing this video. How much did that dude get paid? This video from last year. I don't know when it's from. So that leads me to my joke. My joke that I told on Donut Stream. What noise does a female cop's taser make? Bang! It's just a joke. But as you see, situations like this are why that joke is so funny. Taser, taser, taser. Look how she's handling it. Like, grab the gun, remove it from the holster, or leave the gun in the holster and just remove the holster with the gun in it. Gosh.
I appreciate it. Oh, yeah. Oh, shit. You okay? Hey. Put the gun down. Put it down. Oh, yeah. Oh, shit. You okay?
Oh, my gosh.
Put the gun down. Put it down.
Jason was fully cooperating with the officers, yet he was unfortunately shot in the thigh. Now,
did you see what she did right after she set the gun down? She fixed her hair. She fixed her hair. Donut once said you might get shot. Listen, hope you're wearing your Kevlar. Sam Hyde said it. She fixed her hair. Watch. Oh, I just shot a guy.
Put the gun down. Put it down.
She immediately looks for validation. Hold on, let's go back just a hair. She immediately looks for validation like, oh no, what do I do? That's this face right here. That's despair. And then immediately sets the gun down and fixes her hair.
Put the gun down. Put it down.
Jason was fully cooperating with the officers, yet he was unfortunately shot in the thigh. Now, from Officer Carter's body cam perspective, we can see what really happened. In slow motion, it's clear that her disarming technique was highly unprofessional. She placed multiple fingers on the trigger and forcefully pulled the firearm outward.
And that guy also had a leather holster. If you have a leather holster, reholstering is the most dangerous thing you can do if you have a leather holster. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, shit. You okay?
Let's now take a look from another officer's body cam.
I appreciate it, man.
Right there is where she should have said, hey, can you help me? Can you help me disarm him? Can someone help me disarm him? Because I am struggling. I don't even want to know what's going through her mind at this point.
Oh, you're all right. Oh, shit. You okay?
After being shot in the thigh, Jason was helped by officers to sit down on the grass.
I'd have set him down and put a
officer took
tourniquet
out a
on immediately.
bandage and began providing emergency
Had to get ready for the. She had to get ready for the gram.
aid. Meanwhile, the female officer who fired the shot stood off to the side, appearing indifferent.
So here's the conversation that her and I are going to have at this moment. If I'm a cop on scene, you go sit in your car and you do not get out. You do not get. Don't sanitize your hands. You get in your car and you sit there and you do not get out until a supervisor is here. If there's no supervisor on scene, and if you are the supervisor on scene, you have to make notifications. You have to send it up the chain. Did you ever work in law enforcement? Only for 18 years. 18. You don't know my lore, do you? 18 years. 18 years law enforcement. And you're going to find out more. I'm going on Monday or Tuesday. We're going Tuesday to shoot my episode with Jocko. Did not know the lore. It's all good. Not a lot of people do, because really the only place I really talk about it a lot is here. Which is why best way to support the channel is heading over to kingpixmedia.com. Click the merch drop down. Well, not that, but also you got to sub on Twitch. Just tapping in. I appreciate you being here. Thank you for being here. It's all good. I'll be transparent with you. I don't know your lore. All right, we're going to go into it. We're going to actually, you know what? Let me set the scene for this real quick. We're going to go into it. Because it's all going to come out soon. Once my Jocko episode drops. But so sub, follow, interact, buy it, but a t-shirt or buy a t-shirt. Come on, B. So I won't go into years, but early on in my marriage, I had gone to College of Southern Maryland, and when I married my wife, I was going into construction engineering. And one of the things that I learned after getting married and doing construction engineering for a few years, probably about just under 2 years. If it rains, you're not working. If the job site happens to be facilitated by people who are non-citizens, you're not working. Also, if you're not working, you're not getting paid. And so one day, I was actually one of the biggest projects that I ever had, because I did residential and commercial. Stop. Are you about to go night-night? Oh, hold on. Wait. Do you want to show your hand? Do you want to wave? Say hi. Oh, back up, chump. All right. Come get daddy a hug. Oh. You know Mrs. Farmer Joe's birthday is next week. All right, wait. Say, happy birthday, Mrs. Farmer Joe.
Happy birthday, Mrs. Farmer Joe.
All right. I will check on you tonight, but I have to go pick up the other girls in a little bit.
Okay.
So, I need you to say, good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
I'll see you later.
I'll see you later, but next week you're
no, don't. You're saying too much. Give daddy a kiss. All right, buddy. I love you. All right, where was I? I want to see. Oh, my gosh. I don't. So, my 6-year-old, I gotta be careful saying this. My 6-year-old decided to cut her own hair the other night, and we didn't see it until the morning. And she's got long hair. All of my daughters have long hair. And when I tell you this haircut destroyed my family, not destroyed my family, but my wife was beyond distraught. I'm talking, it was probably one of the worst, like, it was bad. It was bad. And so my wife doesn't want to send the picture. She can't bring herself to tell anybody about it. She came with me yesterday. I went to Tyler's house, and my wife was like, why did you take her out in public? It's to the point, Mrs. Farmer Joe, the hair that she cut is still sitting on a shelf in our living room. It is what it is. Either way, back to what I was talking about. So one of the biggest projects that I had worked on was the Marine Corps Museum. And one day they were shooting a documentary for for the trail that we had put in, and they had brought in like all the stone and dug the footings for the walls, and they had laid all the foundation. It was awesome. I was getting more into concrete. I was doing soil testing in concrete. Concrete was kind of my jam. But I wasn't getting paid. And when they shut down the site to shoot the documentary, wasn't getting paid. And it was rough. It was really rough. I was hysterical and felt like the biggest failure when I met. Listen, she cut a little patch right here, right on the top in the middle. And then she did the liberal, like, yeah, I'll send you a pic. Well, no, I'm going to wait for my wife on that one. But I didn't get paid. And so I remember I came back to the office, and my boss at the time, his name was, we'll say John. His name was John. He calls me in the office, and he was like, hey, you don't seem happy here. I was like, I'm not. He was like, well, we noticed, like, you know, you're kind of dragging your feet and everything else. And I was like, well, I'm not dragging my feet. I was like, but the job sites keep shutting down, so I'm not getting paid. And on the spot, he's having this conversation about me not being happy, and he immediately lets me go. I got laid off, folks. I had to go home and tell my wife that I no longer had employment. And so what I did was I called one of the local hospitals. I said, I'd like to apply for a job working security. I can work any shift, and I can start today. And the boss over there said, can you come in today? Yes. I go that day, interview, I get hired on. Back in the day, we used to do paper applications. You had to print it out. We used to get the Washington Post every Sunday, go through, look at jobs, apply to different jobs, but you had to print it out. So I had to go to the library, print it out. Because my handwriting was terrible. I'm an artist. Oh, you've seen it, it's wearable. I have terrible handwriting. My wife goes through, it's like a 20-page packet, goes through everything, fills it out, submits it. And January of that year was when it was submitted. Within 2 weeks, I got a letter in the mail. Congratulations, Kingsley. You're invited to take the written test. And I'm like, oh, no, there's a written test. Take the written test. Smoked it. You had to get like a 70%. I got like an 83. We're almost there. Then I had to do a board interview. I had to do the PT test. I had to do a psych eval, a health eval. And then I actually had my interview with the sheriff, which one of the sheriff that was over at the time, he has since retired, and his second in command actually just retired this past week. So shout out to a sheriff that, you know what, never mind. He didn't hire me back when okay, never mind. So I go through the whole application process, and I get hired in 2008, very beginning of 2008. And that's where my law enforcement career started. Over time, I ended up, and you guys it's all going to come out. It's whatever. So I end up at some point saying, you know what? My law enforcement career kind of stalled. After about 5 years, it completely stalled. And I sat in an eval with my lieutenant across from me at the desk, and my sergeant was right next to me. And I'm talking, I went to work every day. It was instilled in us. I had an old sergeant major that taught at my academy. And he said, you iron your uniform every day. You wipe your shoes off every single day. There was not one time in that 5 years I had never, in my time there, never put on a cold uniform. It was always fresh off the iron. And I started to notice that people were getting higher marks for their uniform evals than I was getting. I was like, wait a second. Like, I learned how to iron from a Navy officer. It was reinforced by an Army sergeant major. And so I sat there, and my LT at the time was like, well, we noticed that, we know that you're putting in for all these trainings, but we don't have the funding for it, and we're picking more senior people. And I said, you know what? I feel like I'm spinning my tires. And my sergeant was like, no. What he means is, I was like, no. This was one of the first times in my life. I was very young. I stood up for myself, and I said, I'm spinning my tires. I'm putting in all this time and effort. I'm volunteering time. I'm taking overtime shifts. I'm taking extra duties, and I have nothing to show for it. There's nothing here for me. And so the plan was, okay, well, think about it, give it a week. We'll see if maybe we can move you somewhere. Maybe we can do something to make this work a little better for you. I drove home that day and called the Virginia Army National Guard. I called and I said, I'd like to enlist. Seen this man iron, it was terrible. That is not true. That is not. First of all, you were in the midst of a breakdown. You were mid dehydration / migraine breakdown. You were having a stroke. You were actively having a stroke when I was ironing. Second of all, when I went to that after party or after event, I was sharp. I got a lot of compliments. We need an ironing stream. Maybe not. So yeah, I actually called the Air Force first. My dad was Air Force. I called the Air Force. To this day, they have not returned my call. It is what it is. But the Army called me right back. They said, well, we can get you in to ship out on this date if you just come in and do this, this, and this. I was like, all right, cool. I looked up all of the laws. So there's, it's called USERRA. I don't know what it stands for. It's USERRA. But it's all the legal protections for National Guardsmen. Meaning that if you're on orders, your job can't fire you. They have to hold your job. And they have to provide you time to serve your orders because it's a federal order that you show up and do what you have to do. So I ended up taking the ASVAB. I'll never forget. There were 3 of us in there. I took the ASVAB. It was me and 2 other guys that were going in the Marine Corps. And I had studied for this test, and I was like, man, I need to get back to it because a lot of this stuff, I had been several years separated from math and all that stuff. Not quite high enough scores for them. Hush. So I took this ASVAB, and I was the last one to finish. So we're standing in line at the proctor's desk, and he's giving people their scores. The 2 Marines, their scores were in the 20s. Their scores were so low. They said, hey, do this program, come back in 6 weeks, you can take it again. And so I'm like, oh, great. These guys look like smart guys. I'm standing here, let's see, side note, 2 Marines invented Crayola crayons. That explains it. I go up there and he's looking at the test and he looks at me and he brings his glasses down and he looks again and I'm like, oh, great. I'm going to have to wait 6 weeks. I'm going to have to take it again. He looks at me, he goes, Mr. Penderhughes, you can choose any job in the military that you'd like. I said, excuse me? He's like, yeah, you scored high enough to choose anything in the military that you'd like. Keep in mind, at this time, I didn't have a contract. I didn't even have a contract. And he was like, yeah, you need to go and decide what works best for you, what's going to give you the most bang for your buck. He said, look for bonuses and security clearances. He said, but you can choose any job you want to do in the military. Some of the dumbest and smartest people I've ever come in contact with were Marines. That's true. The smartest person I know is in this chat right now. It's Farmer Joe, and he's a Marine. Also, the dumbest people I've ever met in my life. It's a tie. It's a toss-up between the Army and the Marines. But it's usually the Marines, but they're a lot stronger. I will say that. The dumb ones are really strong. So I go home, and at the time, I talked to my brother-in-law. My brother-in-law, I think it was a captain or a lieutenant at the time, and I was like, hey, what should I do? And this man says, well, if they told you can pick any job, you need to go infantry. This is advice that I got from my brother-in-law. He says, you need to go infantry. It's Farmer Joe's favorite flavor of crayon, red. So I go through the jobs and everything else, and I was like, well, I want to make sure I get a bonus. And so I found a job. I talked to my wife. Restart. Strength will always take you far. Sorry, Farmer Joe, don't kill me. He's a large, muscular man. So I talked to my wife. We went over, some of the bonuses and some of the benefits, but also we looked at the length of training. Highly regarded. We looked at the length of training and said, okay, if I'm going to be away from home and I'm going to get my basic done, I'm going to get my MOS done, I'm going to get whatever extra training that I have tacked on to the end of my AIT. I want to knock it all out, and I don't want to be gone long. Well, joke's on me because I was gone for a long time. So I chose my MOS. Chose everything I wanted to do. I called the recruiter and said, hey, great news. I scored this on the ASVAB. He says, yes, I know. I said, I would like this MOS, please. He says, sorry, that's not available. I said, I'm going to make a comment, but I decided to keep it a family stream. Please keep it a family stream. He's like, we don't have that available. Sorry. He said, but you can ship out on this date if you choose this or this. And I'm like, nah. I've already stood up for myself at the sheriff's office and saying that I'm spinning my wheels. I'm going nowhere. I was like, all right, well, I'll just have to follow up later. This man got off the phone and called me back so quick. And he was like, I overlooked this. We do have this available. I shipped out. I went to basic, which was, it's basic. Like, it's not, they tell you what to wear and where to be. So it was great. Let's see. Sorry, my brother just texted me. So, we got a first time chatter. Hey, can I give you a, wait. Can I give a shout out to my little bro, Toph? No. No, you can say whatever you want in the chat. Shout out to AWOW8 for being a first time chatter. You said it. I think I knew where that was going. I think I saw where it was going, and here we are. So where was I? Yeah, I ship out. I did basic. I did AIT. I got to spend some time on the West Coast. Got to travel a little bit. Come back to the East Coast. I got to travel a little bit there, and thus started my Army career. Now later in my career, I ended up getting. I got lucky. I got to go to. Had a slot in a certain selection process, which was probably the toughest thing I did at the time, but it was only tougher because at the time I had 2 kids. When I first joined, I only had 1 kid. Then I had 2 kids. Then I had 3. But I was able to get into some really good training and to be able to move up and get in some leadership positions. And I've been blessed. I've been blessed throughout my military career. Let's see. Yep, I know what's first then. So then I ended up with my clearance being a Virginia National Guardsman. I took a job where, how do I say this? I took a job where the main goal of the mission, it's gonna sound cool, but it's not that cool. It's just Army stuff, but for a different agency. I did counterterrorism. I did targeting. I always say I did targeting and elimination. It was a lot more targeting than it was elimination, but elimination is super cool. Super cool. I did that for just under 2 years, right around 2 years. And I came back, and when I came back, I was like, look, I'm probably just going to go back into law enforcement. I can't have this time away from my family. I don't want to work for these. You get it. I knew what trade I wanted. My father was infantry, saw how broken his body was, and didn't want that for me. Look, the infantry sucks. It's fun. You're gonna meet a lot of great people, but it sucks. So I came home and I actually ended up going back to the sheriff's office that I had left, and I actually, in my time in between, I sold cars, which was it's really weird to go law enforcement, military, then car salesman. But I sold cars for a few weeks or a few months. And were you ever at Meade? That's a great question. Thank you so much for asking. We're gonna save that one for later. I have been to Meade. I have visited Meade. My sister, my sister was stationed there for a little bit. But I go back to the sheriff's office. I get a meeting the following week. Oh, there you go. Our sisters were stationed there. A bunch of Massachusetts choose infantry. Some people, that's the only choice they have. So I get a meeting with the sheriff. It goes great. I'm like, hey, this is what I've done since I've been gone. I still maintain a certain level of law enforcement certification. This is everything. And they wanted to get into the nuts and bolts of all the stuff that I did for other jobs. And I was like, listen, I was operating on stuff that I can't necessarily talk about, but I can give you the rundown. And so the meeting went great. So I get up to leave, and I'll never forget walking out of his office. I'm walking out, and he stops me. He says, oh, wait, one more question. Do you still have an obligation to serve in the military? As far as are you still under contract to serve your military time every year? And I said, yes, sir. And he goes, let's do this. Why don't you fill out an application online and we'll go from there? Me being stupid, I thought, oh, okay, well, this means they'll just get all my information. They already have my information. I worked there for 5 years. Being in a tank sounded like a better deal to me. Tanks are cool. I'm thinking okay, I'll just fill it out online. I'm a shoo-in. I had to take the written test again, passed it. I had to take the PT test again, passed it. I now had to sit on this board interview where the people who were interviewing me, one of them, was someone that I went to the academy with. Someone that had the same amount of time that I had as certified law enforcement in the Commonwealth of Virginia is sitting on the panel conducting my interview. Answer all the questions. I get my background packet. I'm on the way home. I called the background investigator and said, hey, I was like, I was just wondering if you guys still have my other background packet from 5 years. Well, it was 7 years ago at this time. My original background packet. He goes, hold off on that for now. Hold off on that for now. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm a shoe-in because I'm stupid. I'm stupid saying this to myself. So I called my wife. I said, hey, I got the background packet, but they told me to hold off on it. She says, Kingsley, that sounds like they're not going to hire you. I was like, what are you talking about? I know these guys. I've worked with these guys. I went to their academy. I was trained in their ways. They need people. They're hurting for people to the point where I was called by the recruiter, which is crazy because that recruiter, I'm good friends with him to this day. He's now the sheriff. He is. I could call him right now and get a job. I could call him right now if I needed it. I could call him right now and get a job. He is now the sheriff. She says, Kingsley, I don't think they're going to hire you back. A day later, I get a letter in the mail, and it says, we've chosen a more suitable candidate. Keep in mind, every other candidate that is in this process with me has 0 law enforcement experience. They had chosen a more suitable candidate. And so, of course, I'm kind of like, well, I could go back to killing. That could be a thing. Or I could reach out to some people in my network and see what's going on. So I reached out to a buddy of mine, a narcotics detective, and he says, listen, he's like, I don't know what their deal is, but if you come here, we're going to give you a take-home car. You'll be hired immediately. I was like, that sounds good. All right. I applied. They gave me a take-home car, and I was hired immediately. There, I went through the SWAT selection. I had my first shooting, which was October 2nd, 2016. Worked through my career as a SWAT team member, did the SWAT thing for right around 6 years. And I ended up getting hurt. I tore my ACL. While going through this process, somebody higher up in the chain decided that I was lying about my injury. They called me a liar to my face, which I don't like. As a man who prioritizes integrity and accountability, I don't like being called a liar. And he called me a liar. We had some words, and I immediately transferred further north, closer to DC, just a little bit further north. I go up north. I get hired there. Same thing, SWAT team. I did all the stuff. It was more money. It was a different agency. I'm not gonna say it was better or worse. But then I got into my second shooting. Second shooting was 4 years and 11 months after the first one. So I bet it wasn't even torn. It was torn. That's what a liar would say. Shut up. Shut up, B-Red. You don't dare say that. You don't dare say that in my chat. So end up working through that. And then in the last 2 years, I've picked up active duty orders. So technically, well, not technically, I'm still sworn law enforcement in the Commonwealth of Virginia, but I work on the counter drug task force, or I do like narcotics recon and stuff like that. It's mostly like surveillance. And so it's been great. It's been great being back on active duty. My retirement points are shooting through the roof right now. And I'm double dipping. I am double dipping, working twice as hard, but I am double dipping. And at some point in there, my social media stuff took off as well. So now I'm going on the biggest podcast that I've ever been invited to. I've known Jocko for the last 2 years, and it's just insane how it's worked out. Now you're famous. I'm not famous. I am a co-host for a podcast. If you haven't checked it out, check out the Black and Blue podcast. But I'm just a dude who just happens to, and Snow says it all the time, I fail up every time. And now my wife's texting me. Oh, my wife just, Mrs. Farmer Joe, if you're still here, my mom just texted you, King and Farmer Joe. Listen, King and Farmer Joe is a great podcast. I love it. I enjoy it. I think it's a great time. But King and Farmer Joe doesn't get millions of views every month. I said Jocko is the biggest. It's the biggest platform that I've been invited to. King and Farmer Joe is my favorite. Boom. It's crazy how much this. Listen, throughout my military, 15 years military, 18 years law enforcement, I failed up constantly. To the point now where I'm looking at Snowox. We'll talk more about it later, but I'm looking at another. I don't want to say senior leadership position, but I'm looking at another leadership position, and it's really kind of throwing me off. Anyway, listen. I hate to do this, I hate to do this. Did you see what I didn't check the group chat. I'm not good at texting and all that stuff because I have my notifications silenced unless my wife reaches out, unless my wife or my daughters or my mom text me. So I'll check it here once I'm done. Snowox, let us know who's on. Let us know who's on because we are going to send an absolutely diabolical raid their way. See, and listen, I do this every day at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. No one is on. No one is on. It's kind of early. Listen, everyone, thank you so much for being here. Best way to support the channel, head over to kingpixmedia.com. Click the merch drop down. Started late. Yeah, I got to go pick up the kids. Got to pick up the kids. You guys know I prioritize my family above everything else. God, wife, children. Check out Blue Bearing Solutions. Check out the Black and Blue podcast. With that being said, I will see you guys tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I might Snow, if you're gaming later, I might get on some Battlefield. It's 2:30 a.m. It's not early. It's definitely early. Jeez, that is so weird that no one's on. All right. Make sure you follow on Instagram, follow on YouTube, subscribe to all the things. Twitch is the main line of effort. I'm on Twitch every night, even if I'm not on YouTube, even if I'm not on streaming on Kick. I am on Twitch every single night. I will see you guys tomorrow. Oh, wait. Join the Discord. Join the Discord. Our Discord is just under 200 members. I want to hit 200 before I ship out the beautiful thing that I'm shipping out for my beautiful subscribers and followers.